my fear of clowns has only worsened over time. I can't bear to look at them for too long. And I'm even scared of other things now, okay? Like mimes and alternative YouTubers and drag queens. But it's time for me to get over my fear by making a Monster High OC who is a clown, thereby making clowns extremely unintimidating through the power of friendship and fashion. Let's go! Okay. So we've done this before last week with our first design, the Manananggal, who is the cutesy prep of the cast. Today, we're going to do the second member. So here's what we need to do for a Monster High character. The first is making sure this character is indeed a monster, so this clown was born an evil clown. Secondly, Monster High characters have a variety of distinct aesthetics because it helps characters appeal to larger markets. So since our first character was cutesy and preppy, this character is going to be grungy, tomboyish, and just a little bit of a jock. Thirdly, for the design, I'm gonna have to crank up the edge a little bit, but hopefully still make it marketable towards all the imaginary children I'm going to be selling this character to. Like always, I need to make some doodles to get some of those blurry visions I have in my head down on the screen. My key traits for Clowny the Clown placeholder name here are: she is the one person who wears pants like all the time. She's got paper white skin with voluminous vermilion hair and sharp teeth. And very importantly, grey eyes, because they help to really emphasize that scary face, but not too much, in a subtle way. You see, when you have a character with lighter colored eyes, the pupil can have a huge effect on how calm they look. That's the reason why Disney characters' pupils look dilated as heck. Look at Rapunzel here. When you have a smaller pupil and a light iris, you can have a very different effect and expression. But of course, we can offset the scary effect with eye sparkles. It makes a world of a difference. Okay, moving on for the character design tangent. As a clown fearer, I needed to take advice from a clown lover. And very luckily, I have a buddy who fulfills that criteria. Thank you, Dexterly, for the clown advice. And also for giving me your clown Pinterest board. Saved me a lot of trouble, because I still do not want to look at the clowns. Okay, Dexterly is a character design YouTuber just like me, so you definitely go and check her out. So Dexterly's tips included: make them have a friendly exterior, but still something is stiff. It is a persona, a costume after all. That was a great first tip. Very good starting point for the personality. I like it. Second tip, always do unnatural colored hair. Well, this is Monster High, so that'll be great. Third tip, make them feel bouncy and energetic. Well, of course. Fourth tip, big shoes or tiny shoes, no in between. Oh yeah, let's go for the big chunky ones for the win. Last tip, ball nose. Optional but cute. Okay, no ball nose. Sorry, she's gonna be a cool clown. Ball noses are for baby clowns. No, they're not. They're for cute clowns, but this is a cool clown. Alright, thanks, Dexterly. Sending you hugs. Go check her out, cousins. Alright, back to the doodles. I intentionally make them wonky and lazy because it saves time. The main purpose of these are to help me visualize better what's in my head because it's like really blurry up in there. I know I'm gonna spend a lot of effort on the initial iterations and then the final 2 outfits plus the bust, so I'm not too worried about making my doodles look like a 12-year-old made them. I also really enjoy messing around with textures when I'm doing doodles like these, but I need my art to be consistent between all the Monster High OC, so we're not rolling with that in the final style. As you can see, I'm trying to blend the clownery with grunge elements, and sometimes it ends up looking like a regular old clown wearing a leather jacket, and it's not that good honestly, you know, not drippy enough, but that's alright. The key is to sprinkle in more grunge more evenly along the outfit, like how one evenly peppers an omelette. I'm gonna do this by adding black, belts, and spikes where possible. After the doodles, I move on to the iterations. There's no need for crazy poses here, and of course I block in colors for quicker results. Being a born clown, clown girl's skin is completely white. I tried both spiky and curly hair, but the main thing is that it's red and very voluminous. I actually hated my iterations at first, but then I realized it's normal to go through speed bumps. My previous design came naturally to me because I just love cutesy stuff, but clowns and grunge are unfamiliar territory. It's okay though, it's fun to experiment. If you're doing multiple versions of a character like me, my suggestion is to make them as different as possible so you can make the final design the in-between of whatever you like. So the silhouettes for all of these designs are very different, and the last one was just there for me to try out something new. I actually like it because the two eyes on the jester hat and the teeth on the pockets makes the clown have a monster motif on their body. But I really wanted the final two designs to look cohesive, and the third one looks really feminine and less cool than I would like. So it's Tomboy Forever with the first two outfits. Now it's time for the final design, oh yeah! We've got two outfits because I'm indecisive, and a bust because I love having a nice detailed face portrait. And of course, I want to show off her lovely sharp teeth. I went for a tall, slender, toned body for her. But I also wanted to make her silhouette more large, so that's what the clothes are for. They're very voluminous and add a lot to her silhouette. This will definitely round out the characters once I finish them all and line them all up, hopefully. Like with the last video, the art process starts with a sketch, then making the body base completely separate, then duplicating it and making each clothing piece separately. It's pretty fun, honestly. I stuck to the iterations and just made it more cohesive by adding in some gradients to the black leather. So, I would just like to preface this by saying that writing is not my strong suit. Okay, so my backstory idea for this character is that she is the child of another evil clown. Her dad is a single working father. Maybe he's in his 40s and divorced. But I low-key feel it'd be funny if clowns reproduce by mitosis, so her dad is sexually reproduced like a coral or something, and that's how she was made, and she just brings it up once to her friends during lunch, and then all of her friends are like, okay, and then just try their best to forget about it. I do think that for Monster High characters, because the series is aimed towards children, having some variety in family structures is good. I think that it can help make children feel better about their own families, or learn about other types of families, like Dracula's own single father who adopted her. So I think that the divorced dad with main custody route would be better for the clown character, and her mother gets weekends. Clown on clown divorce. Think about that for a second. Anyways, Monster High characters tend to have powers, so I was thinking evil clowns tend to just be, well, clowns that aren't as nice as they should be. I think that clowns are just supernatural beings that feed off emotions and can shapeshift and summon items temporarily to aid in their quest. Some do this by laughter, some do this by scaring the crap out of random people at night, which is what her dad does. As for Clowny the Clown placeholder name, I think it'd be oh so interesting to have a redemption arc for a main character. Didn't Cleo Denial also initially fill the role of antagonistic mean girl before eventually becoming good, with that role being replaced by other characters? I think that for the first arc of the series, it involved the Manananggal being the new girl at school, like Frankie style. She wasn't created, of course, she just moved to America, and she's just like, okay, sure. Her natural sociable nature lets her get along well with other characters, probably including other main cast members, but there are some people who she just can't shake off. Remember how Clowny feeds off both positive and negative emotions? Therefore, being bold and talking to people honestly is kind of a given. But I think that this could be used in a way to teach children about appropriate behavior. Okay, let me explain. I feel like, especially on the internet, people tend to mask their bullying with a layer of comedy, especially in comment sections on particular social medias. It makes people laugh, and if it makes you laugh, then it's okay, right? I mean, it's all in the name of fun, and it's a joke, and no, I disagree immensely. Sure, maybe some people are psychologically equipped to handle masses of anonymous commenters making jabs at their expense, but that's certainly not everyone. If you want to criticize someone for, well, stuff, do it in the critique, which is not a joke. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because this is a very complicated topic and I don't want to ramble on for an hour about this. But I do feel like sometimes certain people do this in real life too, and sometimes they do it straight to other people's faces. Have you ever seen or experienced this? What do you think about this issue? So this is Clowny. Clowny has a small, close-knit group of friends, and Clowny is accepted and respected. With conditions, of course. Clowny has to be fun and not bring down the mood, because you know, that's what clowns are for. She knows this because when the weekends with mom aren't going well, or when she gets into fights with Clowny Senior and she gets sad or dour, her friends don't ask to hang out at the mall anymore. And Clowny doesn't want to be lonely. Clowny needs people around, literally. So she keeps up her bright, energetic persona at all times. She's got friends, and she really likes them. So she's gotta make them happy, right? Well, they don't exactly have the most wholesome form of comedy. Long story short, Clowny is a class clown who will roast anyone as long as the opportunity is there and she can use it to make people like her. And have an emotion snack, of course. Most of the time, people laugh, and that's very good for her stomach. She only makes a few people upset or sad for just a little bit, so it's fine, right? Now, the manananggal, the new girl at school, has never been treated like a joke before. And despite her mellow, sweet personality, sees through this nonsense immediately. Acting as a great role model for the imaginary children watching this show, she calls out Clowny and her friends, and through shenanigans, Clowny learns to change her ways. I imagine that this could happen through Manananggal using her flying and slitting ability to go and spy on people, and she just provides Clowny with recordings of her supposed friends talking crap about her behind her back. Or something else, something suitable for a children's show. I'm not sure. Clowny goes through a crisis, and Manananggal is like, "Damn bro, you're being kinda pathetic right now. But you know what? I forgive you. Now beat your asses." And they become besties after Clowny ditches her bad friends. Clowny also apologizes to all the people whose feelings she hurt, because accountability is important. She probably does it in a very cheesy children's show kind of way, like dunking herself in water to make all of her previous victims laugh. I think that the current two cast members get along really well due to their sociableness, but the Manananggal definitely cares way less about what other people think than Clowny. I think for Clowny's personality, she definitely has a bright, energetic feel, but she also struggles a lot with self-image and having to control her reputation and the way that people react to her. And it's even worse because she kinda needs people to feel things about her to eat. She can eat normal food, but it's really the emotions that she creates that feed her and sustain her in a nutritional way. She doesn't know if she wants to be a classic evil clown like mom and dad, or a good clown, or a cool clown, and she's really in the process of figuring all these things out as teenagers do. Her true passion is really stand-up comedy. All she wants to do is make people laugh. But it's so hard to keep up that persona all the time, and she doesn't want to lose her new friends and make them sad, because she can feel it when she makes people sad, she's an empath. Her character arc involves a lot of learning to embrace your true self, even if that means you will make certain people happy, or if you'll be vulnerable and you can't be fun to be around anymore sometimes. Because true friends don't expect you to be your source of entertainment. I think this is a pretty nice idea for a children's moral story. What do you think, cousin? Thank you again to Dexter Lee for giving me the basis of the idea. I really enjoyed writing this, thank you. Yay! Power of friendship, guys! Alright, her final artwork is done, and now it's time for the review. So let's take a close look at outfit number 1. I actually really like this. I made Clowny's hair orange, red, and yellow because it adds unnaturalness to the design and fits well with Monster High characters because they usually have multicolored hair sometimes. But it doesn't really clash that much with the already maxed out color palette, so I think it's a good choice. Here she's got spiky straight hair, and to be honest, I'm not a fan. I gave her a crop jacket with a slight blue gradient to match the black leather with the rest of the colorful clothes better. And I think that doing that and the same thing to her shoes actually worked. The sleeves of her jacket are long and white for a distinct silhouette. The spikes and belts and black add grunginess, but you can clearly see the clownness, especially the pants, which I actually really like. Should have made the shoes bigger though. I failed you, Dexter Lee, whoops! Even though I like this outfit less than the second design, I do think that the hair is really good for when she's with her bad influence friends. Because in the second design, she has curly hair. And I think that her having curly hair after ditching her old friends and becoming besties with Manananggal could be symbolism for her embracing her true self. Actually, I really like this outfit too, but specifically the top and the hair. I kind of feel like making the makeup red instead of black would have been good, but I was struggling because there's so much red in her palette already. I really like the high pants with the pattern, and the more classy top really adds some cheesy coolness to the design. The leather jacket feels too plain even with the gradient, so I add white studs next time. I do like the pitchback spikes on it though, and on the shoes as well. I think that overall I would actually swap the hairstyles. I think that the second outfit is more suitable for when she's with her bad friends because it's slightly cooler. But then her first outfit is more clown-like but still clearly grunge. I do think it's more distinct, and I do think it would look great with the curly hair. Overall, I am pretty pleased with her designs and I had lots of fun. I think her portrait also looks nice too. Look at those nice teeth. I am very pleased. What do you think? Which design do you like best? Well, that was a great fun video to make. Have I gotten over my fear of clowns? No. But I do feel pride in making progress in my Monster High journey, even though this is just a second video. As always, please send help with the names. Although at this point, Pennywise would be literally suitable if you've seen the depths that Monster High names go. Or maybe Ronnie McDonnie. But you know, then my hypothetical doll line will get sued into oblivion. I'm so bad at this. Anyways, thanks a lot for sticking around. It really means a lot to me. Cheers! Wish me luck with the next video and subscribe so you can catch it too. Thanks for watching, cousins. Have a good day!